If you are heading to Grandma's house and maybe you're packing up tomorrow and maybe you're going to take a flight and be there by early evening or, well, let's face it, folks, traveling, and I've been doing a lot of it lately, traveling publicly, buses, planes, that kind of thing, maybe even cabs, there are germs everywhere. I have been turned into a germ phobe. And when I found out about what Tricia Holderman does, I was immediately intrigued. Well, she's an expert in germs. She is the CEO of 2 cleaning companies, considered the leading authorities on infection prevention. Elite Home Services, that caters to, well, the rich and famous and the pickiest clientele in Dallas-Fort Worth. Also, she runs Elite Facility Services, specializing in the infection control for healthcare facilities, and that's been big in the news with Ebola and all that. Tricia, welcome to the Chris Crock Show with me, Chris Salcedo.
Thank you so much.
Well, I guess the number one question that folks, what is it they can do besides wearing a mask? And I actually, when the Ebola scare hit, I actually contemplated, I had to fly. I actually thought about, putting a mask on. Short of doing that, what can folks do?
Well, and funny you should mention putting that on while you were flying. What we try and tell most people is that, those air ducts that they have, do not put that air directly on your face. Because what happens is the guy 12 rows back sneezes, the air is picked up into that system, and it is blown all over the place. So if you have to have that air, put it in front of you like a couple of inches so it blows down on your body, not on your face. Because all that's doing is throwing every germ that they've collected around the plane and throwing it up your nostrils. Yeah,
which is not good. Okay, so keep the thing from blowing directly on your face. Keep it off of you. What else can folks do?
No, we tell everybody wear your shower shoes at hotels. Most people don't realize that getting into those showers, even though they look nice and clean, most hotels are not really scrubbing those, and they don't really have a lot of time to get those done in between visitors. And so they're really not using disinfectants either. So it's just teeming with germs. So if you have any kind of an open sore on your feet, please wear shower shoes.
Oh, wow. Really? I didn't even think about that. Oh, man.
Yeah. So we have our ATP meter, and what we do is we can measure the amount of germs that are on anything. So the ATP, anything under 250 is fairly good. 250 to 500, acceptable. Anything over 500 to 1,000 in a hospital, we actually have to re-clean it. In a public arena, probably not as important, but over 1,000, you really want to keep it clean. And in the hotels, what we're finding is the shower floors and the remote controls are by far, they're in the 20,000 numbers. I mean, that's incredibly bad.
Oh, yuck. See, I just stayed at a hotel, too. Man alive. The remote controls, really? They're that bad?
Yeah. The remote, because with housekeepers, that's just not on there. In hospitals, we wash the remote controls every single day. Ugh. But in hotels, they just don't have that kind of a system in place.
Okay.
So same thing with...
Go ahead.
With the airports, what we're finding there is that those little security bins, everybody has been touching those. Well, that's another one of those items that janitors are just, not expected to clean, and it's not in their training program. There is nobody in charge of actually cleaning those things.
No way. Really?
Oh, yeah, way.
Oh, man. See, and everybody puts their clothes, their laptops, their keys.
Jewelry.
Yeah. Okay, Tricia Holderman, my guest right now. She's an expert on germs. She owns 2 cleaning services, so she ought to know. Okay, so, boy, you've already given me... I don't even want to step out of the house now. So what? No, it's okay. So you got to watch those things. How can we be better keeping the germs to ourselves, I suppose? How can we be better for our fellow man?
The 2 things that you can do is obviously keep your little sanitizer with you. So after you've touched those bins and you've gotten your clothes back on, use your sanitizer. Any place that you've touched, elevator buttons, handrails, the people mover handrails, things like that, use your sanitizer after that. Same thing with the little sanitizing wipes that you can carry with you for wiping surfaces. They have those in portable packs now. Put those on your bathroom floor. Just wipe those out when you're at the hotel. And the very important part to that is is let them air dry, because the germs, the disinfectants on there have to be on top of those germs for a minimum of 3 to 5 minutes in order to actually kill those germs. So what happens is if you put the disinfectant on there and then you immediately run water, you have done absolutely nothing. So definitely let that air dry. That gives the time for the disinfectant to actually kill the germs.
I gotcha. All right. Well, what are now? Did you guys deal with Ebola at all? Did you guys have any interaction with that?
Not at that actual hospital. We got called in to do some training, because that is what we do. We actually worked with a couple of hospitals that were sending, a couple of the health hospitals, Texas Health, that was sending some of their employees over there. We helped fill in a couple of other areas for them. I see. And where are our area hospitals, and maybe just hospitals in the nation in general? I don't want you to target one specifically, but where are hospitals falling down from what you have seen? We actually work in the Middle East and in Europe. American standards are so far ahead of everybody else in the world that even our worst hospitals are not nearly as bad as some of the most expensive, incredible hospitals in the Middle East or Europe or even in the Asian countries.
So we have it pretty much right, or is there room for improvement?
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, we have it right. There's always room for improvement. One of the things that we're seeing more and more as the hospitals are cutting back on staff is that it is harder to do some of the detail cleaning that needs to get done. But the infection prevention controls are so strict in this nation that as a hospital, they can't negate those rules and those procedures and those processes that have to be used.
Well, if you have to travel, folks, there you go. A little service from the Chris Crock Show with me, Chris Salcedo, sitting in. And that's why we brought Tricia Holderman in. She's a germ expert. She owns a couple of cleaning services, Elite Home Services and Elite Facility Services. So she ought to know. Tricia, have a fantastic Thanksgiving, and thanks for carving out time for the Chris Crock Show.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night.
Bye-bye. Good night.